Okay, we need to find the derivative of f first because they want us to find f prime of 1. So notice that f of x is g of x times h of x. So we need to use the product rule. So remember, always find the general rule before you plug in numbers. So I'm just going to use the product rule here. So derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. And I want to know what happens at 1, so I'm going to plug in 1 for x. And then I'm going to pull all these values from what's given or from the graph. So the graph that's given is g, so g prime of 1 would be the slope at 1. So notice I go down 2 to the right 1, so the slope of g at 1 is -2. h of 1 is given, they tell me it's 3. h of prime of 1 is also given, which is 4. And then g of 1 is just the y value at 1, which happens to be 2 here. So I get -6 plus 8, which gives me 2, which would be a. Okay, next one, I need to find the derivative of x to the 4th times e to the x. So we need to use product rule. So derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. Notice multiple choice, we always want to simplify it. So notice that I see a GCF of x cubed and e to the x. So I'm going to factor that out. So I'm left with a 4 and an x. So that matches up with the letter C. Okay, next one, same thing. We're going to be using the product rule again. You've got 2x times the cosine of x. So I'm going to take the derivative using the product rule. Derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second, it's a negative sine of x, times the first. And if I plug in 0, cosine of 0 is 1, sine of 0 is 0, so this all becomes 0. So this is going to be D. And then next one here, notice that f is g of 3x squared. So notice this is a composite function. This is your inside function, this is your outside function. So this is your chain rule idea. So to take the derivative of f, we take the derivative of the outside, which is the g, inside stays the same. Then we take the derivative of the inside. And the one that matches up with that would be the letter C.